What's up, guys? Commander Santa here, and welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Valley. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different format just for this episode today. Just because I don't really have... Well, I do have a lot to show, but pretty much our ride here is complete. And what I have recorded is a pile, and I mean a pile of scenery and decorating. And I didn't even really make a building. I made like a simple building, but I got to work more on that a little bit later. But just a pile of scenery. Some of you this week should have seen a lot of pictures that I've been posting recently on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, just a pile of like really, really beautiful scenic pictures. And I think I outdid myself. I'm really good at scenery, I think, and it's just been a lot of fun. But I mean, that's the thing which kind of sucks is scenery recording is very, very boring. And I mean boring. You guys don't really want to see that. So that's why I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today just for this episode. I'm actually going to be stealing a Ruble Trillions kind of video format where we're going to do a live setting first and then just kind of get everything out of the way first. And then you guys can see the finished product. And then after, I'm going to throw the time-lapse on. For those of you that are interested in seeing some decorations itself, I'm not going to do a full voiceover over the time-lapse because I'm pretty much doing all my talking right here. So you guys can stick around and watch this part. And if you guys feel like leaving once the time-lapse starts, that's perfectly fine. Doesn't hurt me none. So let's get into what I wanted to talk about today. So pretty much this is done. I have finally came up with a name, and it's kind of a conglomeration of what we've been doing and just kind of my inspiration of what I've been adding to this. It's going to be the Genesse River Brewing Company. Because, I've had this idea with this big building right here is based off a brewery. And then the entirety of the ride kind of swings its way through this gorge that almost reminds me of Letchworth State Park, which the Genesse River actually goes through. And the Genesse Brewing Company is an actual brewing company, which is semi-near me. And they make some pretty mediocre beer, but, it's beer nonetheless. So it's pretty funny. And I think it's just kind of cool because Buffalo Valley, and we can kind of incorporate that as well. And yeah, Letchworth State Park by me also has, the Genesse River flowing through it, which is... I just think that's going to be a perfect name altogether, and I wanted this ride themed like beer, so I don't know, that's just my thought of it. So one thing I have to do still is work on a sign, but otherwise this ride is pretty much done. All my theming is completely done, so yeah, all that's left is the sign. So let's actually stop for a minute and take a look at everything. I apologize if you hear keyboard and mouse controls, I am doing this live. Let's start with this building right here. This building right here is something we worked on stream a couple weeks ago. And I thought it was actually really cute. And I didn't really want to do anything else with it because it's kind of cute. All that's in there is a hat store. And then it's kind of like truck bay. Maybe they used to back into it when this used to be a brewery. And an ATM over here just to get some people over here. And up top here is this guy, this little maintenance worker. He is kind of fixing this HVAC system, which is having a little bit of issues. Yeah, he's fixing it. And then on top of that, I added this very nice little courtyard. Excuse me, wow, voice cracked. This courtyard right here is really, really cool. You can pretty much sit down and watch the roller coaster go through. Or kind of like, if you have like your family on the roller coaster, or like you didn't go on the roller coaster for whatever reason, you can come here and just wait for it to go by, which is really, really cool. I hope I have one coming soon. No? Maybe later. We'll catch it later. If anything, I'll throw that in the scenic shots. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. It's really, really nice theming, and it kind of comes around very overgrown, which is the theme for this. And I ended up making these like modular fences, which are very, very simple, but they add such a nice touch. Kind of block a lot of sight lines, which is something you kind of want in some of this stuff. And, whoa, hello there. Oh, sorry, got sidetracked for a second. something you kind of want to do is block a few of the sight lines and everything, just because it looks better, you know? You want people to see what you want them to see, and that is the point of fences, in my opinion. So I really want people to, like, you know, funnel their way over here and actually see this perfectly, I don't know, set themed area. And there it goes. Instead of, you know, like trying to stand somewhere else and see it. And over here, you know, it's really, really nice. Then we have the actual brewing brewery itself, which is, we've seen before. You guys can see the time lapse if you want. It'll be linked in the description, or I think so, or just go to the playlist. And then down here is, I think, one of my favorite parts of this ride. It swings its way under here, and I kind of added these little misting machines or fog machines or whatever, and it's just really cool. I've always wanted to add that to, like, oh, the ride broke down. I've always wanted to add that to a ride, just because, I don't know, it's kind of cool. So I kind of mist as I go under, just something to add a little bit of character to it. Over here is just another, like, side auxiliary building, and it actually hides another back and forth queue in there. And over here is something I added, which is the tunnel system. It's just a little tunnel in the end. It just kind of swoops around and back. Really cool. It kind of added a little bit of detail. And, you know, you're still in the trees and everything. It's kind of one last hurrah before you get back. And then that's pretty much it for this entrance area. Yeah, the ride broke down. Everyone's coming out now. Okay. So, yeah, here's the priority pass queue. Kind of short, but don't really need much. I ended up having to finally limit the guests, and this park actually runs so much better when the game is paused. I'm finally hitting really, really tough frame rate issues, and I have a lot of space left, so it's going to be pretty good. And then the next thing I want to show you guys is I've officially completed over here. As you can see, there is a lot of trees, and a lot of trees. This was, I'm not going to lie, this was probably 8 or 9 hours of work, in all honesty, just for over here. Getting everything done and everything, hitting those right details, the right props. I probably spent way too much time on this, but it's for you guys, you know? It's our project. It's great. So this is the bridge, if you guys remember the bridge. I took a little bit of feedback from the last video, and I actually made a kind of like a platform over here, which I really, really enjoyed the look of it. And then over to the left here, which was my girlfriend's idea, I would love to take, you know, credit for this idea, but it was not my idea, is a stone staircase that you can use to walk down over to here. And it's a little steep, but I mean, you can work your way down or whatever. Or you can walk back up, hang out over here. Maybe this is what the cottage, people that lived in this cottage, they would possibly walk down the staircase, go get some water, wash their clothes, who knows. I don't know, back in the day, I guess. Or just, you know, watch the roller coaster that goes through, because there's always a roller coaster here. Since this building was built and this bridge was built, there was always a roller coaster here. 1800s probably. So, yeah. And then, you know, we got the truss bridge and just the generic scenery that goes on around it. Let me kind of set up a little nicely here so you guys can get a full view. Here, I can actually change some of the lighting. I think 11 o'clock looks good. Not PM, but AM. Yeah. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, this is a great shot right here. Give me a second while I take a sip of my beer. All right, I'm back. Now, I'm hoping a train. Here it comes. Yeah, this is super cool. This is such a super fun ride. I would love to ride this thing. Which is my second or third, or I have lost count note, but the POV video should be out sometime this weekend. I'm going to pretty much release this and get right to work on that. So here is the gorge itself. Very, very scenic, very, very pretty. And one of the favorite things I did was kind of the way it winds and spirals through itself. It's really cool. And then, yep, you come down here, you go over, and you come around. And I finally added the scenery over here. And I was having a little bit issues with the water. I think something with clipping with the roller coaster itself. I could only get the water to this height even though I had like all the settings right. But I want the water maybe a little bit higher. Like another set maybe right here. But oh well. I think it looks okay. It works. That's all that matters. And then the brake run for the second part and the second lift hill. And then we are back to the park. Now, yes, I have a few other things to work on, like detail back here, but we're moving on after this episode to bigger and better things. As you can see, a little sneak preview for the next episode. I added this ride right here. And this very square generic box building that's going to be detailed for next episode. And then I need to add some stuff over here. I'm thinking about putting the Genesse River Brewing Company sign possibly like right here. Or something. Maybe on top of this little mound. And then detail all around it. Now, I also spent some time, because a lot of you notice, and a lot of you point out, well, I think there's a select few of you that always point out that I forget lighting. So, don't worry guys, I got you on this episode. I did not forget lighting. So, I kind of lit up certain areas of the track, just kind of add some stuff. I did not add lighting to the other part of the track because I don't know. I don't think this ride would be open at night, like explicitly. But I just kind of wanted to light up here because it looks really nice. Yeah, pretty basic lighting. Kind of lay up the track here and there. I might change the color of the box lights to something a little bit different just for the tracks. Maybe like maybe pushing towards green. I'm not sure if I like the harsh, explicit white, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the live portion. One more thing I wanted to tell you guys is an upcoming project of mine. I think I touched on it in the last episode. I forget. I'm fairly certain I did. Last episode I touched upon that I am actually doing a collaboration project with the man Ruble Trillions himself. If you don't know him, he'll be linked in the description. He has made that a beautiful Paris park. His design and the way he builds buildings is absolutely crazy, and I feel completely honored that I was asked to be able to collaborate with him and make something great. This is going to be a great thing for all of us, and because we're going to be able to swap ideas and stuff and kind of learn from each other, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I am not the strongest builder for sure, for building wise. I mean, I can build some buildings, but not like him. He makes amazing, and I mean amazing buildings. He literally made the main street of Paris, and every time I look at his videos or look at pictures, it looks like the real thing. And I wish I could be able to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to match his skill come the end of our collaboration project. So definitely look forward to that. That's going to be coming out possibly by the end of this month. So get really excited about that. We should be starting to post some teasers soon. And he's pretty much worked on most of it. He already worked on the part of it, and it's actually my turn to work on the park. And I got a few things done, but I got to finish up my parts. And then we'll start putting videos for you guys. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at CommandoSantaYT. And for those of you that don't want to continue on to the time lapse, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to like this video if you liked it. Thanks, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the time-lapse portion of today's episode. So I'm not going to have a lot to talk about because, at least in the first part, just because it's all bushes and shrubs and trees and crap. So bear with me if I get a little quiet for a little bit. I probably won't be able to talk through this whole entire thing just because I have already pretty much said I got pretty much everything I need to talk about off my chest in the live portion of today's video, so probably won't record over the whole thing, but we'll see how we do. So right now I'm going to be working on the stairway down to from the cottage down to the water. Like I said earlier, this was not my idea, this was my girlfriend's idea. So it was originally going to be a wooden staircase, but she was like, oh, why don't you just do a like stone stairwell? And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a great idea, and that's pretty much the story. So yeah, I thought it turned out really, really well. And one thing I really enjoy doing in this game, and some of you probably noticed already, I really enjoy working on little crap that no one's ever going to notice ever. Maybe one day when I actually release this park, and like me with fingers crossed that no single update breaks this park, like I have this park saved probably 20,000 times and like backed up on like several hard drives, like, but I just hope the game doesn't break it, because like I've spent countless hours of my life working on this for you guys, and don't get me wrong, this is like so much fun, but like I'm trying to say, like, it's kind of funny. This is only going to be noticed by maybe when I release this park, then someone's actually going to like actually take a hefty look at it. Which I hope it happens. Like, I hope someone has a beefy enough computer to actually like do a good like recording of a walkthrough of my park or something, or even like just some feedback from like some other people in the community, so I can like give out the park, which would be really cool. And also, if you're watching this and you run a channel where you record walkthroughs of other people's parks, feel free to send me a private message, and if anything, I can send you the park file if you want to kind of walk through it as is, which is perfectly fine with me. I'd gladly give it away. But I really hopefully want to hold off until it's completely finished. And I still have some amazing ideas that people have been giving me, so I'm thinking the next thing I'm going to work on is the main strip behind in front of this roller coaster, and kind of in front of the train station as well. I have a lot to fill in over there, so we can get some shops. I'm trying to fit in a few more rides and stuff. If you've seen in the live portion, I've already placed another ride. And at that point, it should be pretty good. Once that area is filled in, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. And then after that, someone actually sent me a couple images of this old fort, like a very simple like wooden frontier fort, and I actually absolutely fell in love with it. So I think I'm going to actually attempt maybe like a frontier fort, which is going to be really, really cool. And maybe I'll do like some little like scenes around it. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. That actually might be like the haunted portion, because I really want to do a haunted portion, and I'm also want to at least do a kiddie park, which is going to be really cool. So that's pretty much what I got for the near future. So yeah, stay tuned for more rides and such. Right there, as you can see, if this is lined up, I'm just detailing around the waterfall. I'm actually super proud of the waterfall. I love how that waterfall turned out. I don't think it makes any sense that waterfall would be there, but it looks nice, which is all that matters, I guess. Other than that, detailing around the water and everything, I really spent a lot of time here just because of the nature of all the roller coaster trains that come through here. Even though like no one's going to walk back there, that's the point where the roller coaster passes through the most amount of times. So I wanted that to look absolutely perfect. So right now I moved on to the section of the park, well, the section of the ride where we're around the station and everything. And it took me actually a few tries to actually figure out what I wanted to do over here. I originally wanted like an array of buildings, but I really could only fit in another building at the far end of this plaza here. And it didn't look great. So instead I opted to do like a cool chill hangout plaza park thing. So that's exactly what I did. So I made like my own fake like planter median thing and filled it with a pile of like the bushes, like the green bushes like I'm placing right now, and made it look super nice and overgrown, and then put some trees in there. And I think it turned out really well. The only thing is I had to do a few things with garbage cans to block people from actually walking in there, because there's a part where the path actually goes into the box there, and if I delete the path, it deletes all the paths around and like linking up with the roller coaster and everything. I don't know why, and it kind of frustrates me to no end, but it's whatever, you work around it. And then the next part I wanted to work on was the overlook area, and that was I don't know why I struggled with that a little bit. I wanted it to look really, really nice, and I wanted a grate that like a fence system where it's there and you can lean against it, but you can't really lean over it, because safety standards, that would be a nightmare for OSHA, So I wanted it to be high enough where like a normal person couldn't like climb onto it and look over and stuff. So I think I did okay. I picked these fences because they looked like if you tried to climb it, you couldn't, you just slide down. And I also put them on like the concrete pad, concrete like pillars, just to raise them up a tad bit taller, and it looks really nice. I think it turned out really, really good. Another thing I kind of did was raise up these, I think it's the electrical conduit, the completely straight one, and I kind of made a little handrail, I guess. I don't know why I did that, and it just kind of came to me, but I think it actually made it look a lot nicer. And it gives something for the lights to reflect off a little bit differently, so it kind of breaks it up a little bit. So moving on to what we're doing now, and this is where we get into detailing this entire area. So this is where I'm going to be placing a pile of rocks, and a pile of trees, and a pile of bushes. So I think this is going to be a good place and ever for me to stop, because I'm not going to be able to talk for another like 10, maybe 5 minutes about rocks. So you know me, I love talking about rocks, but I'm pretty beat for today. So I'm going to leave it at that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And if you stuck around for the live portion, I really appreciate it. All the support you guys give me, it's the best. So I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback, and I look forward to the next episode as well. So one other thing is, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I really appreciate everyone who subscribes. I love when people subscribe, because I get the email about the subscription, and it makes me really, really happy. So I notice every single person that subscribes, so don't you worry. I don't know, I kind of like it. That's just how I am. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure to check out Ruble Trillions stuff. I'm going to have that linked in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Enjoy some music for the rest of the time lapse.